Well, a twist of events. I'm actually heading out by myself. It should be pretty interesting. I've got the GPS trolling motor now, so we got spot lock, and the fish are biting at a small wreck that I know about. Hopefully we get something. So, yes, early to mid-August, we had some weather. Water temperature 76, 77, pretty good still. People are still catching sheeps, so there's a spot that I know of where I'm hoping to catch some sheep's head, and rumor has it there may be triggers there. And I would love to catch me some triggers.
Alright guys, so this is going to be a pretty quick video, but I think it's going to be pretty educational for some people, hopefully. So I have my new spot lock trolling motor, and I've been really using it to my advantage to find some wrecks and that I couldn't normally fish with a traditional wreck anchor, just because it's really hard to get over those spots. But you'll see I'm heading out there now. I'm going to describe basically how I target these coordinates and use the trolling motor to spot lock over them and to successfully, you know, catch the target species. So let's hear what I have to say.
Alright, so let me show you pretty much how I'm dealing with this. So you get a mark from somebody, whether it's a navigation chart, a friend, or whoever, right? Like I got this mark from somebody, and apparently there's nothing there. However, if I scroll backwards on the way there, oh, what is this? I don't know if you can see it on the camera. Definitely a ship, right? So I had previously put a mark on this ship. At 166, which is where I'm gonna fish today. So what I'm gonna do right now is put my trolling motor down. Now I'm alone, all right? And this is why I bought the trolling motor, one of the reasons, right? So I don't want to get in the water. All right, slide it. Now I've got a hold of the trolling motor, and I can deploy it without ever really getting in the danger zone, right? I'm not falling in. Okay. Here is my remote control. I'll turn this on. And what? While that's starting up, when the remote's starting up, the what's it called? Trolling motor's already on. I can go probably up to like 8 miles an hour or so. I mean, the slower the better, but you're not stuck idling, you know what I mean? This thing can handle some power. So, and you see on the left, yeah, that's where all the structure's at, 166. Oh yeah. Let me make another mark here. So I'm going to pause this. And I'm going to say, give me a mark here. Alright, 168. I'm going to say navigate, go to, and I can say engage my trolling motor, right? Now I have to manually turn the prop on, but this thing will take me to the wreck. And then it switches the anchor lock, which is spot lock. Some fish on the bottom there, perhaps. Not navigating. And we're basically right over where we want to fish. Not sure if I see fish on the fish finder, but this is the wreck. Yeah, look at that. We're right over it. And the anchor lock is telling me 9 feet. But you know what? I'm going to reset right here. And I'm going to put a mark. And I'm going to say, I'm going to name it structure. Now I'm going to switch. I'm on this structure. So we're here. I'm killing the motor.
Alright, so for most of the rest of the video, it's just going to be me giving a voiceover here, just pretty much talking about what's going on. Nothing super exciting in this video, but you know, there's some pretty cool stuff. So first thing worth mentioning here is that anytime you're fishing inshore on a wreck, at least in my opinion, forget about shrimp, forget about all the squishy baits. You need something tough. Crab, blue crab is kind of my go-to a lot of times because it's cheaper at the Asian markets. But you can see here, you just quarter it up, and all these tiny little annoying interference fish that I did not show in the video have a really hard time really getting it all off the hook. So you have a lot more time than you would normally have with your bait being shrimp or something like that. So anyways, yeah, you can see, speaking of interference fish, there's an oyster toad. You know, I just wanted to show some fish footage earlier on. Yeah, so I did catch quite a few little black sea bass, but I was getting some really strange feeling bites. You know, you can usually tell black sea bass bites because they're just so ferocious, you know, and but like I said, they don't really remove the crab from your hook that easily. The crab was just disappearing. It was like 100 little bites, so I was really unsure what was going on. But I had seen some triggerfish caught recently, so I discovered that that's what triggers do. They're pretty much voracious eaters, and they have some really sharp teeth, so they can really annihilate crab or really any kind of bait. So yeah, I had switched up temporarily to some really small hooks, and I caught a couple of small ones. I realized I don't think there's any bigger ones down there, and I actually caught like a really baby, tiny little spadefish, which was pretty cool. You know, usually they're on top. This one was on bottom. So yeah, I kind of was over it, but I was getting some very good hits here and there. Wasn't really sure what they were, but you know, as you can see, I'm going to discover that this wreck's holding a lot of different types of fish. So I think this time of year, I think it's good. I think maybe earlier in the year it might have been better. Some bigger tug, maybe some bigger sheep's head that had moved on since then. But yeah, you can see here I went ahead and caught me a short tog. I think I got a couple more I didn't really add into this video. So then there's this. So the big draw here was that I really wanted some of these bigger sheep's head. I was trying to fish for them on the pilings. I'm not that great at that. Even with the trolling motor, it's difficult. But I knew they were here at this wreck. They had to be, right? So I left the audio on this clip. Let's just let it play. That was a very lazy hook set. I didn't think it was a good fish, and I learned that it was. I also learned that my drag on this reel is completely jacked. I had no clue. So this is a high-speed bait caster. Not at all ideal for this type of fishing, so I'll probably be buying something a little more ideal. Yeah. So funny thing, I switched videos. This is going to be the same fish. I thought I was not recording, so I hit the record button and shut it off and didn't realize it. My head cam missed the rest of it. So thankfully I had this backup GoPro recording. I do go off picture for a little bit, but you can see basically the fight. Like I said, same fish. And you may recognize that rod. I just got it. It was a present I asked for. It's a Tsunami slow pitch, medium heavy, which, to be honest, is a little light, but you know, still a very good rod compared to what I was using. So yeah, I'm out here by myself. So yeah, so it was good to have the net ready, but yeah, I end up, you know, he went on quite a few runs. But once he was tired, I was able to get him up and scoop him up with the net. Sorry about the camera angle. This is terrible. I didn't think I was going to be able to make this video when I realized I had not recorded that. So luckily like I said, I had some kind of footage here. So I thought this would be pretty educational to show, like basically how I find the wreck. You find it on side scan. You kind of need a decent transducer to see the definition on the bottom, and then it just couldn't be easier to get directly over where you want to fish. And one thing I found is that when you're trying to target the schools of fish, being able to jog 5 feet in any direction instead of just having to sit wherever you ended up being anchored is just, it's a game changer. And I don't know how I really fished before without it, so very happy to have it. Yep, so back to the head cam here. I was pretty upset.
Yeah, I just wanted a great fight. Netted it myself. I'm great.
Yeah. But yeah, I weighed it. I think this is not the greatest scale, but it's over 8 pounds. I think it was around 9 pounds. But even if it wasn't 9 pounds, it was a nice fish. So yeah, very happy to catch that. I stayed at that wreck for a little while yet. I think there were more fish there. Some really gnarly weather systems were coming through. I really thought I was going to get smashed with like a really bad thunderstorm. And I decided that, you know what, I'm going to stick it out because it shouldn't miss me. And it did. And I'm happy it did. So you can see here, I made a move. I went to 4th Island here. I spot locked over the tubes. Fished for sheep's head for a little while. I was getting hits, but didn't really end up capitalizing. I saw some pretty cool topwater action, a lot of fish jumping out of the water. So I threw a grub out here, and it hooked up on a few nice bluefish. This was one of them. So yeah, I do enjoy eating bluefish, usually just making some fresh tacos, you know, usually they hit the spot. After this, I ended up going to a couple of other spots on the chart that I didn't get great footage of. It was pretty late in the day and I was pretty tired, so nothing really crazy. But you know, like I said earlier, this spot lock for me has really been a game changer. It's gonna continue to be a game changer. I'm hoping to get a lot more videos together that are enjoyable to watch and maybe even teach somebody something. But yeah, I really appreciate any likes, any subscribes, and definitely comments. So thanks a lot, guys.